Good morning. It's a warm morning here in central Illinois and headed to heat index of 105. I think the predicted high temperature is 95, but anyway, it's a warm day. We are thankful for air conditioning and fans. So, this is week 6. We haven't used the title of the class very much. I was thinking about that when we think about the title of the class. It's Biblical Interpretation Capstone, the capstone. And we are getting so close to completing. This week we have the assignments that we have, and then next week we have a discussion board, and then the final paper is due on July 3. So we are on the downhill aspect of completing this course and your degree program. And you know how that is. As you get closer to the bottom of a hill, if you're rolling down the hill as a kid or sledding, the speed picks up. So we're headed into the final time of the class and our time together. Biblical interpretation capstone, the use of the Old Testament in the New Testament. Good things to think about this week. We are going to be using more of Beale's steps of interpretation. There is a chart in Blackboard that you're to use and to analyze the ways that Psalm 22 and Isaiah 8:11 to 18 are used. You're to address 4 areas: the hermeneutical use, the theological use, the Christological use, and the rhetorical use of as it's used in Hebrews chapter 2, 12 to 13. That's page 50 and following in Beale, and that will give you the help that you need. You will not need to include this paper in your final paper. I have it. Well, I will have it when you submit it. You could use it as an appendix, but you will need to use some of the content of this week's paper in your final paper. So you can think that one through for yourself as you work on this one and then prepare to write your final paper. Of course, you can start that final paper anytime and get a head start on it. Our discussion board this week is a good one. It's pretty relevant to Christian circles today. How does one account for Hebrews' use of Jeremiah 31:31 to 34, which was a promise of the new covenant made to Israel and Judah? And then, on what basis can Gentiles in Christ claim a promise reserved for God's chosen people, Israel? And 3, does claiming this promise today mean that the church has replaced Israel? As I was working on this earlier this morning, the thought came to me, I wonder if Dr. Ryrie says anything in his book, Dispensationalism. I can get this right way. So I looked it up, and sure enough, he has some comments on it I think you'll find interesting. In his context of the book, he is talking about progressive versus classical dispensationalism, but it's a good discussion to impact your discussion board. So we are ready to get to work. I've really enjoyed our discussions and the thought that you're putting into them. May God bless you as you serve Him this week. Let Him be honored in all that you say and do.